Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday. Alan is back from his European vacation. When'd you get back? Sunday? Monday?
Sunday night, very interesting time. Let me tell you a little bit about it, just because anybody that likes to travel, one thing I found in Europe is that I felt much safer in Europe than I ever did in America traveling.
Hmm.
It's just surprising. My first day was Rothenburg, then Nuremberg. That was the same day. Then I went down to Munich, the second day, and then I toured Munich the third day, and then drove to Innsbruck, Austria that night. Had dinner in Innsbruck, beautiful old city,
Hmm.
amazing. The next day I went to Fusen, which is where they do Neuschwanner's Castle. Very, very pretty area there. Got up the next morning and we went to Liechtenstein, very modern, unique, amazing country that actually trades and you can use Bitcoin there.
Oh,
And then we went further on to Switzerland, to Lucerne. And then the next day we went to Strasbourg, France, which was super cool.
hmm.
And then the following day was Heidelberg. And what I love is that basically there was never a speed limit the whole time I was there.
So so you actually you rented a car and
Yeah, yeah,
drove
and
everywhere?
basically every destination was 2 to 2.5 hours.
Hmm.
I would get up like 7, have breakfast, and then get to the next location about 10 a.m. in the morning. And certain areas around cities, they'll have limits of 100 or 120 kilometers an hour. Sometimes construction zones were 80, but basically we were all maxed out. The fastest I got the car up to was 200 kilometers, which is about 130.
Nice.
Kind of crazy. I mean, it's crazy. There's no speed limits anywhere on the main freeways.
Well,
So, especially in Germany.
and they're used to that and they know how to drive. They know how to like I don't know, for lack of a better word, they're not idiots about speeding and about driving. It's just natural for them. They kind of grew up with that kind of thing. So
Hmm.
much different than the US. So yeah, my only time we were on a ski trip out west to Montana, and I think during the day they had either no speed limit, I think no speed limit, or maybe like 100 miles an hour or whatever. But it just so happened that when we were driving into the Montana, I hit an elk and like spidered the whole windshield. So like if you like close the doors, the windshield would kind of go in and out. So I kind of had to take it easy. I couldn't really drive fast because of because of the windshield. So um, but yeah, that would be fun. So yeah, beautiful. I saw some of the pictures. Beautiful country. And like you said, everything is within, a couple of hours, whereas I can drive 4 hours and still be in Wisconsin kind of thing. Um,
Well, what it reminds me of Massachusetts. So I lived in Massachusetts for 10 years. So in Massachusetts, it would take you an hour to get to Connecticut, an hour to get to Rhode Island,
oh,
an hour to get to New York, an hour to get to Vermont, an hour to get to New Hampshire, and an hour and 20 minutes to get to Maine.
hmm.
So it's kind of like the same concept. So if you go to New England, it's the same thing. Um, but very interesting. I saw a very small amount of homelessness. I thought I'd see a lot more. Basically, I saw no homelessness at all. It's
Hmm.
very surprising to me. I found everybody to be very nice
Hmm.
and pleasant, and literally everybody spoke English. And
Oh.
I would try to like I'd start talking to them in German, and then they'd switch over to English because they could tell I was English.
Right, they
Uh,
laughing at you like as
yeah,
you're
yeah,
trying.
yeah. I'd say, well, because I'd say, "Kennst du mir helfen? Ken ich habe dich?" And just I had 3 years of German, so I like to do it, but every time I'd start to speak German, they'd all go to English because they could tell I was English, they're like, so everybody speaks English, and a lot of the signs and everything, is English, and, most restaurants, they have, English, French, and, I'm sorry, German, um, French, and English. So,
Hmm.
on most menus, they have English on there, and you could point,
Yeah,
saying it, that kind of thing.
right. Interesting. Wow, cool.
Hmm.
So I have some exciting news. Let me share. Because I'm sure you're tired of looking at me. Um, the stock earnings volume app for iOS ready to submit. So I need start testing, create a group, and invite testers using their emails. Um, so if you're comfortable um, commenting on the Facebook post of this video, feel free to share your email. If you want to send it to me through Facebook Messenger and you don't want everybody knowing your email, that's fine. Um, if you want to send me an email, my address is brian.dunwoody@charter.net, and I'll spin it across the screen. One important thing to note, the email address that you give me, because you're going to be testing this on your iOS phone, your Apple phone, you need a software called TestFlight, or an app called TestFlight. Everything runs through TestFlight because Apple in their walled garden. So give me the email address that you can get the email on your phone, on your iPhone. You can add TestFlight on your iPhone, because the email will come through and it'll say, click on this to open the app through TestFlight. Um, so, like I said, I'm excited. I'm nervous because it now puts me on the clock to develop the login and the billing procedures for the app. Um, so I'm hoping to do that within a month. Um, right now, if you open this app through TestFlight, there's no way for me to track it. I don't know who's going to use it. I don't know if you're going to use it or not. Um, I hope you do. I hope that you're able to give me feedback, um, and just give me your thoughts on it. Um, so yeah, I'm like I said, I'm excited. You guys have seen the app before, the different sections. So yeah. Um, the other thing that I wanted to comment on, um, was the debt ceiling. Um, and I read today that I think next week is the deadline as far as getting something done. Um, because they need to decide on a bill, or they need to decide if they're going to increase the debt ceiling and if they're going to limit spending. And they need to do that with enough time to be able to get it through Congress and then get it to Biden to sign. Because if I think Janet Yellen, at the Treasury, says that we're going to run out of money and not be able to pay our creditors or our bills as of June 1st. Um, and that's like 2.5, 3 weeks away. Um, so it'll be interesting. It seems like we always have this debt ceiling discussion. Um, so I think the latest is that they're going to freeze the budget as of 2022. Um, so we'll see where it goes. It's going to be um, kind of chaotic. I think the market's going to react to any news if they're close to a debt ceiling, if they're close to an agreement or not. Um, and I think one of those main stocks that may be impacted, um, is Raytheon, um, because of um, government spending for defense. Um, Alan has mentioned yesterday, I believe, trading Raytheon, and I want to I want to do something quickly because I thought it was kind of interesting. This is today's 5 minute chart of Raython. And if I draw horizontal line at the high, this right here, this may have triggered it. I don't know how close that low is to the line, um, but this definitely would have triggered it. And then we're off to the races towards, um, towards the end of the day. The interesting thing that I saw, if we go look at the 2 day, um, Monday and Tuesday, again, Monday we were off to the races, and look at this high. This high is right around 10 a.m. Eastern, and we've kind of mentioned that before. The other interesting thing, and theoretically, if you traded this yesterday, you could have been into calls, got out at 10 a.m., and then um, waited for this drop below this 5 minute. But I saw this. We bounced here. And if you look at this line, remember this line is today's 5 minute high. We bounced there and then we came down and tested it again. But we never fell below the 5 minute low of today. Um, so this is kind of still bullish. This is the way that you play um, stocks with the 5 minute app. This would have triggered, told you to go calls. Um, But again, this right here tells you that you need to be nimble. You need to be aware of these 10 a.m. reversals. Um, 10 o'clock here is this. So we did come up to this line and drop a little bit before breaching it. And you have to wait for the triggers and then play it like it tells you to. So um, I don't know, Alan, your thoughts on
Well,
Raython and
so
the
the rule is, and it's always been the rule. And I said that that I was going long Raytheon. The rule is that if it triggers up or down and it goes the direction you want it to, which in this case was calls, like I called, you always sell at 10 o'clock and wait. That's the rule. That's how you play daily options and wait. Give it 5 minutes. So what you would have done is take that bottom 5 minute there and bring that up to that 10 o'clock.
I
Now
think
bring
that's
it down to the bottom 5 minute.
of the 10 a.m.
Yeah.
I think
And
that's
then
it.
draw another line
Uh,
there. Yeah, bring it back.
so
So what you would have done is now bring the other line up to the 5 minute high.
so this line up to the 5 minute high of
Oh,
yesterday.
no, at 10 o'clock.
Oh, 5 minute high, which is up here.
And you just wait. What does it do? Give it 5 minutes, see what it's going to do. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know any more than you what it's going to do. If it breaks the 5 minute high, then you rebuy it. If it if it drops below it, then you go short or you go ahead and sell it.
Yeah,
But
or
you
you
sell
wait.
it.
Yeah, or you
Yeah,
wait
but
until
this
this.
gives you a new trigger. This gives you a new 5 minute high and low. Now this isn't going to be on the app. This is just considered rules of trading. This is how you utilize it. So now after it broke that 5 minute 10 o'clock reversal, now we're short. I mean, what a short that was.
Yeah, right.
Now, what
97
you would
to.
have done, so let's just go ahead and go into this is trading 101 here. Drop the bottom red one to the 5 minute high of the first 5 minutes of the day. Now you would have doubled down. So you would have doubled your position. Then you take the other line at the top and bring that to the 5 minute low. Now you would have tripled it after it broke that. So
Yeah,
what it is when you got confirmation, then you would have just rode it all the way down till you got a bottom. but this is how you do it. So it's kind of like playing blackjack. You know, when you go ahead and double down, you go ahead and if you got, $100 in there, now you put $200 in there. Then when you go ahead and if you split again, now you got $300 in there. So
Yeah.
these are giving you rules on how to trade. So we would have sold the 10 o'clock, waited, draw two lines up there. It
Yep.
broke. We would have went ahead and bought to go down. Then after it broke that, that's a good line to keeping them on there. Then you would have went ahead and bought additional after it broke, and then you would have bought more additional after it broke again.
Right.
So you could even go smaller on this. You don't have to go crazy. You could have bought 10 contracts to go up. Then you go ahead and just buy five. It drops. Then it goes past the 5 minute high. You buy another five. And then and it goes through again. You buy another five. Now you got 15 put options going down, and you go ahead and you hold it as long as you're making money. And then obviously your reversal was at 12 o'clock. So which is a standard reversal.
Yeah.
Well, whatever that is, 1, 2 o'clock. I can't see the bottom, but
Oh,
you kind of get the point. The thing is that anything that's is that 12 o'clock?
so right here is 2 o'clock.
Okay, you got the 2 day up. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, 12:45. So like
yeah,
one.
yeah. So that's where you had the low, but you kind of get the point on how the these are all, and you can experiment, but the key thing is that you're not supposed to be in trade overnight. This is about hitting singles, doubles, and triples. You would have had a single going up, then you would have hit a single going down, then a double, then a triple. So, and then if you sold at the bottom, you would have had a grand slam.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, got to be
I hope
nimble.
that helps some people on that 5 minute. So, we can look at Google too. I traded Google today too. Just bring up today and you'll see what happened with Google. That looks like a 2 day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went ahead and you bought calls, which is what I did. I did the 10 o'clock reversal. I bought puts, held on to them, and then went ahead and it went through the 5 minute. I expected it to drop to the 5 minute low. It did. I sold. Now I should have held to the end of the day, but the thing is that I got impatient with it. But still a good trade. And the issue is that my rule is that I don't care what happens, is that I'm looking to go ahead and do sell the 10 o'clock no matter what. But again, a good analogy or a good way to trade is again do the 5 minute at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
If you take those two lines at 10 o'clock, the whole object to doing this 5 minute, the thing is that after it broke, now it's telling you to go short. Again, you would have doubled down after it broke the 5 minute high. You would double down when it went past the 5 minute low. And now you're in for a triple.
Yeah.
Minimal risk, high reward. So hopefully
Yeah.
that helped a little bit, Brian. I'm going to run. I'm actually going to Phoenix tomorrow. So I have some business to do there. So I will be traveling, but I'll be back for next week. So,
Okie doke. Sounds good.
all right.
Have a good night. Hope you guys got something out of this. Find a way to get me your email addresses for you iPhone users, and we'll get this beta test started. So
Sweet.
have a great rest of the week. Keep your ears perked for any news out of Congress or out of the debt limit. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
All right. We'll see ya.